So while all of us are in our house, enjoying our freedom and enjoying the peace of our homes, 39 kids and 7 adults were abducted in Oyo State. And it's been how many days now? And the police and the Nigerian military don't have any concrete update on this. And let me tell you, after reviewing the landmark, after reviewing the area footage and some, views from Google World Map, I feel like this is total disgrace on the Nigerian military as well as the Oyo State Police Command, because this should have been wrapped up in a day or two. And I'll explain why. So I want you to come along with me. I've watched a couple of videos, I've researched the map, I've researched the recent pictures of that landscape to see what it looks like. And based on the videos released by the kidnappers, we should be able to make sense of it. So come with me. So looking at the landscape here, they abducted or kidnapped children from the community high school in Ahoro Esinele, which is here. And you might ask me, once the kidnapping is done here, how did they go? And you can see that 2 schools are right next to each other. Did they come downwards into the community? No. Based on today's video, they ended up north from the school.
So àwọn tani lọ gbé wọn lọ àwọn kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀.
ẹ̀sìn nígbà tí wọ́n àwọn àti ẹ̀wà lójú jẹ́ kan bíi 9 àárọ̀ máa ń gbà bọ̀ báyìí wọ́n wọ sọ àwọn sójà.
wọ́n wọ́n ṣe àwọn sójà.
àwọn sójà àwọn ọ̀kà wọn sì kankan nígbà pé wọ́n wà bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n máa ń lọ ọ̀tọ̀ títì wọ́n dé skul wọ́n kàn yà sí skul bẹ́ẹ̀.
ẹsẹ̀ ń bí ìsìnkú ẹni.
bá a ti ń yìnbọn nu pàpà ìmọ̀sán ro nkele yìí àwọn ọmọ mi tẹ káfẹ́ gbójú windo agbára wọn ọ̀ka pé kí wọ́n fi bẹ́ síta wọ́n ta kó àwọn ọmọ àmọ́ kéèké wẹ̀ báyìí omi ìga tó báyìí gbogbo wọn ti kó gbọ́n lọ. nígbà wọn tó ń lọ wọn á dá wọn lọ bí màálù bí ìbátí ẹ̀ máa ń di wúlẹ̀ lọ ní ń dá wọn lọ báyìí.
ọ̀nà yìí
náà ni wọ́n ti yà lọ lókè o ibi tó ti yà wọ́n ti yà wọ́ kẹ́lẹ́ gángan ni wọ́n ti yà lọ.
And it does make sense because I'm going to zoom in out a little bit. Further along that part, we heard, and you can imagine that they passed through all of this, including this community right here. And it does make sense because they abducted more kids from the Yawota First Baptist Nursery and Primary School. And they also stole 4 motorcycles, according to verified report. They also stole 4 motorcycles from the Yawota Community High School here. So it does make sense that the trajectory of their journey was along this line. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit and swerve this a little bit around. So literally, they stole the motorcycles here. So where could they have headed? They could have decided to go into the bush on both sides of the road. But I tell you that that's not possible. So if they stole 4 motorcycles, I can assure you they didn't steal them to put them in a car. They stole them to be able to move with it. So it means that based on a ratio of 1 to 9, so 1 kidnapper to 9 people, which is 45 people, based on the fact that they killed one of them, 1 kidnapper to 9 people, right? They have 4 motorcycles. And remember, 36 kids within the age of 2 to 13, I believe. Can you imagine what is the speed that the kids will move with? How fast can these kids move? Like, how fast can they move them? But one thing that is very important is when kidnappers kidnap that amount of people, one thing is for sure, they are heading towards a source of food and water because they need these people to be alive. And I can tell you that this source was predetermined, so they must have kept food and water and a mass means of transportation somewhere. So as a police command, as the Nigerian military, when something like this happens, any sensible military or police, all you have to do immediately is set up a gridlock of major highways. So that way, if they have a big bus waiting to move these kids out, you are able to intercept them and get the kids. So now they've been parabolating and making, I would say, nonsense statements. We're going to use drone. One thing again that I want to bring into the spotlight is most of the kidnappers video, if you watch them, you can see the amount of sunlight that comes to the people that have been interviewed. So the ladies that are interviewing who are begging the government to help them, you can see the amount of sunlight that gets to them. What it means that particular forest is not a very thick forest. It's not the kind of forest that you can move 50 people and nobody would notice. Number one, they're going to stop in many places, and when they stop, they're going to try to feed them, and when they try to feed them, there will be leftover stuff. So maybe food, water, nylon bags, bottles, and everything. So I feel that this is a huge disgrace to the Nigerian military and to the Oyo State Police Command, because there's too many people, and the fact that there are kids, which slows them down, which also means that they cannot really move in extremely bad terrain. They would have to use the roads because of the kids, because the kids can't climb trees and go on slopes. And again, I've reviewed pictures of all of these forests. It's not even a very thick forest. Easily, you people should have just, created blocks on major roads to ensure that if they had a mass transportation, they are not able to move across that place. But again, this is just my own analysis based on what I know, based on maps, based on various videos that I've watched. But away from all this, I think that having spent weeks and we are still here talking about it, and Seyi Makinde is blaming federal government is saying we're deploying night guards, is huge disgrace. Any counterintelligence person with good surveillance and just give me a drone of $1,500 and give me guns, or we will find where they are. Maybe we might not be able to capture them, but we will find where they are. So it just shows the level of security in the country, and it's concerning. It's really concerning. So again, I'm not a military person. I'm not employed by the Nigerian army. This is a personal opinion of what happened. And I can say, like I said, these people, the trajectory of their travel is so easy to get because of, the number of kids and the terrain. But what do I know? I just hope that these kids come home alive, because nobody deserves this. Really, nobody deserves this. At the end of the day, these kids are going to grow up to be what? So it's what it is. But I hope the Nigerian police force just, it's really sad.
I might sound ignorant what I'm about to say, but the practicality of it is very possible. So some people have said that government knows where these bandits and terrorists are. And just recently, a children's program in Edo State, bouncers poured tear gas on children. And we know that government has a lot of ways to disarm terrible people. And sleeping gas is one very viable option to fly over the place where these terrorists and bandits are and just gas them. Everybody sleeps, plus the bandits and then the captives. Then you enter the enclave, sort out your own people, and then you deal with the terrorists as you wish. But they are choosing not to. Another option is quite visible for any practical person that can think it. We have a lot of area boys, volumes of area boys across Nigeria that you can, bring into a force, equip them, empower them, and everybody moves. That way you even engage, you create engagement for them. I know that sometimes you only use them for your political empowerment and elections, but there are better reasons why you need them now. And then afterwards, after that operation, now look for viable things that young men can do so that they also don't return into banditry or robbery and all those things. Create avenues for young people to be busy. If about, say, 20,000 jobless young people face the enclave of the bandits, and you have given them enough machete and the necessary things they need, and after the operation you collect it back from them and not leave it to them to now use, because that's what you do after election. Whatever weapons you give them, they keep it and start using it to terrorize us. These things are very practical, but you are choosing not to do it. And then since you came into government, there are a lot of young people just roaming that can be conscripted into the military to enforce the power of the military. But unfortunately, this thing of the military is not well equipped enough for young people to want to join. It is well.